this.
Brendan doesn't know what we're talking about for this podcast. And if it seems like we're wearing the same outfits, it's because we are.
This is 10 minutes later.
This is 10 minutes after our first podcast. So, alright guys. Welcome back to the Bromance podcast. I'm Dean.
I'm Brandon.
From Get Real Vlogs and from Chaos Unleashed. And today, we've kind of talked a little bit about this before, but haven't got into detail. Let's talk about aliens and mythical creatures. Are they real? Are they myths? What do we think? So, alien talk has been popular lately, but throughout history we've heard many encounters with these so-called aliens.
Define alien.
Not an illegal. Not someone illegal.
Not quite what I meant.
So I guess you can think of it in your own thoughts and terms, because everyone, you know, the little green Martian people that fly around in the saucers.
I still want more. Okay, so I read an
Keep
article
talking.
that, I don't know when this was, might have been a couple weeks, couple months, I don't know. But, they found microbial, like, bacterial growth on Mars. So, technically, is that considered an alien? It is still a living creature that we found on a distant planet.
If we're getting technical, I guess yes, but let's think in the terms of the green or blue, what you would see in those.
You mean like a
3D movies.
higher species?
Yeah.
Something more like us, probably better.
Probably better, yes. Something like us, but better.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, you can't really say no, though.
I believe it. Everyone thinks I'm crazy, but I also don't believe we ever touched the moon.
That's a bold statement.
I believe it. Everyone thinks I joke around. I 120,000,000% believe that we never placed foot on the moon.
Okay, so what makes you believe that we haven't?
Because our technology is so great these days, so we think. Wouldn't we be doing so many things up there? Like, all the time. Like, maybe even visits to the moon for people who just want to go.
Okay, so have you heard the... I don't remember what brand or, like, what name brand it is, but there's a hotel service that's looking to open a hotel in space. And it's supposed to open up here in the next, like, 25 years.
Like on a planet?
Supposedly it's going to orbit around the Earth.
I mean, I'm down for it.
But
if they want to do that.
I'm just saying, like, if we are able to be planning to put a hotel in space, why we mean you think we haven't been to the moon?
I don't know, man.
I need to find that article and send it to you.
Yeah, if
So
I
you
read
don't-
stuff like this, the more, like, I don't really look into it. I just like making a bold statement because I just feel like rockets still wouldn't be blowing up when we, like, leave the Earth, you know? It's just like, we still to this day.
Okay, so if you think that the United States government hasn't made it to the moon, do you believe any others have? Like Russia. Like, they're known for their space exploration.
Yeah, because we beat them to it.
Right.
You know, we just live in an age where everything's social and everything's posted. And no, I don't think there's enough evidence to show that anyone has ever been on the moon.
What do you think about, the guy that owns, Tesla?
Oh, Elon Musk?
Yeah, what do you think about Elon? Because just a couple weeks ago, he had a successful flight, landing, and pre-flight.
Yeah. I think the man's the smartest man on the face of the earth at the moment. I think he's doing great things. And another reason I bring this up is I listen to podcasts other than ours. And he was on Joe Rogan's podcast, who
Right.
possibly could be the best podcast on the face of this earth right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe Rogan asked Elon if aliens were real, and Elon said no, if aliens were real, I would know.
I mean, the guy did make 20,000 flamethrowers just because he could, and told people don't buy it. I mean, that's kind of, you know.
Yeah, I think he knows that there's aliens, and he just.
I think that's why he's fighting so hard to get to space.
And I think that he may have contact with these so-called aliens,
I mean,
and he's trying so hard to keep it a secret so no others can become as rich as
this
he is.
is a singular person that is basically taking on the government. Like, he's literally...
He basically runs the world in a way, you know? It's just... My whole thought is, what would cause the start of aliens? Like, so it had to start at some point. Someone had to create this idea of this little green Martian. And everything, I believe, is based off of something kind of real, you know? Like, every monster you see in Scooby-Doo comes from the thought of something that actually does exist, you know?
Right. Do you know anybody that's been, like, abducted or, like, has had encounters with aliens?
No, but I believe you've told me you know someone in...
My dad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't want to say, I didn't know if you wanted me to say, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I asked him a couple weeks ago about it, and he doesn't really remember a whole lot. I remember I was pretty young, and basically he was driving down the road, checked the time, and he lost, I don't remember, it was like a half hour of time, and he said he remembered that his truck lit up with a light in the middle of the night. Like, he said the whole truck lit up like it was daytime, and he lost like a half hour of time, and he doesn't remember anything other than it.
So, and he kind of thinks that something could happen with
He believes
experimentation.
I don't think he really believes that. If he does, he's never talked to me about it. He just believes that something, like he was either abducted or something like that. I don't think he's ever intentionally said, like, you know, they were cutting me open or they were testing out whatever.
Do you think that these aliens are friendly, mean, or they just don't care?
I believe that there's going to be...
Just like people? Good and bad?
I believe they're a collective group of good and bad. I don't believe there's a singular alien.
Kind of like Jesus and Satan is what you're kind of comparing this to in a way?
I don't really know what I would compare it to.
Okay.
Like, there's different colonies of aliens.
Okay.
And each colony is going to be regulated differently. But I believe that they all believe the same pattern. If there's this colony's evil, they're all evil. Like, if this colony's good, they're all good.
So kind of like races, in a way. Not saying a certain race is nicer.
Right.
But, like, there's different countries in a way. Like,
right.
Okay. So, what do you think about Area 51? I'll tell you my thoughts first. I believe that Area 51 is hidden so well and so secret, not because there's something there, but they want everyone to think
it's
something's
a
there
distraction point.
for something else.
It's a distraction point.
For something else?
Yeah.
I agree. I 100% agree.
Yeah. Do you... So this might get a little weird. So, have you ever thought about what if the higher people, like your presidents, your kings, queens,
Know
like
about it?
Well, no, I'm thinking a little bit more. What if they are aliens themselves? And
Like
we,
Donald Trump.
Yeah, like the
Like
head
Elon
powers.
being an alien? Elon?
Yes.
Yes, I thought Elon could be one. I legit have.
Like the head powers of the world, they are aliens, and this is more of we're experiments to them.
Yeah. Like a simulation in a way. Kind of like like the Sims, like we are their Sims.
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying this is what I believe. I'm just throwing scenarios out there.
one of my roommates in college, and he wasn't joking with me. His dad worked in a government job for a long time, and him and I were so into conspiracies and aliens and stuff like that. And he said, Dean, I've talked to my father, and my father said aliens are real. And he couldn't remember it super specific, but he's like, if one touches you, you become one. It's like a zombie type of thing. Like, you get bitten.
No.
I don't necessarily believe that.
I don't believe so. I'm thinking more if you come in contact with it, if it reveals itself to you as being an alien,
That's
then
the
you
reason
gain knowledge beyond human recognition.
I can see that too. I can see that.
I believe that they're going to be so far advanced, and we're just, throwaway test dummies for them, like lab rats to us.
But I also think, and you probably agree with me, I think they look just kind of like you and I do.
Yeah, obviously, they want to blend in.
I don't think that do you think they can transform, or do you think they just, like, transform their image, or do you think that they naturally just look like us, except they're so advanced?
I think they just naturally look like us. Because if they could shapeshift whenever they could, somebody somewhere would
Would have seen it.
Right. It would have been revealed somewhere. You can't go perfection like a whole span like
So
that.
we can also get into this. Do you think aliens are a spiritual type of species? Like they're like what you would think of as an angel or demon type thing? 'Cause I have a very close friend of mine who says I think aliens are angels.
So
Or demons. He says he thinks they're angels and demons.
I think that maybe it's a transitional stage.
Wow, this is getting real deep. Okay, I didn't know we were gonna get this serious.
So I'm not saying this is what I believe, but I'm trying
As
to
you
argue.
say, I think it's a transitional
Well,
stage.
I've never put thought into it, but I'm just kind of throwing it out there now.
Okay.
So, what if when you die, you get all the knowledge of the angel, or of like an angel, you know how
Okay.
they would like know
Yeah.
everything? That kind of knowledge is given to you, but you don't go into heaven or hell yet.
Okay.
It's kind of like you're waiting to transition into an angel.
Like a purgatory type thing in a way, but not the punishment.
Kinda. I'm trying to avoid like the whole
Religion aspect.
just because it could very easily get intertangled out.
Yeah, and then we'll get canceled for saying something wrong, you know.
Well,
But
yeah.
I know what you're saying. That's a possibility too.
It's really hard to kind of word it together.
It would just be so nice to just be like, yes, we know that they're real, and this is why, and
Yeah, but see, once you know that kind of power is real,
then you're gonna be miserable
you'll
with your life.
never be happy. Like, no matter how good your life gets, you will never be happy. Because you know that there's always something better.
That's true.
And maybe that's part of, like, their teaching.
That they don't let people know because they don't want people
Right.
to get upset.
I mean, you could also think about, what if there is only one species of alien and their worlds were destroyed? So they created humans and are trying to teach them a better way of life.
So, like, an extinction, and there's still some left
Yeah,
over.
there's still, like, a
and they
headmaster's
don't want
group.
everyone being rich and having these extraordinary lives, but
Yes.
they want people to earn things and have compassion towards others and not just be brainwashed by technology.
Right. Like, this is where we fail.
And we don't want you guys to do it again.
Right.
I mean, it's a thought. I mean, I don't think I necessarily lean towards that, but that is
No.
a very good thought. It's fun to think of. It's fun to entertain them. I don't know, man. What about, remember, I'd say it was a little over 2 years ago when the whole Facebook thing went crazy about raiding Area 51?
Yeah.
Go see them aliens, and you have to run like this, and the guns won't shoot you. What is your thought on that? Because there were people who went, who obviously did not go in, but like they set up camp. I would have loved for you and I to have been able to do that. Like,
I mean,
do a night of vlogging.
You can go within a certain range,
You can go to a
but
certain range once you go past. Is
yeah,
what-
then they start deploying MPs. There's automated turrets down there. Once you start getting closer to the gates, there's no way you're gonna be able to just walk in there.
One of my coworkers thought maybe it's not as much live action people watching for you, but like explosives underground that will be set off by trigger.
Yeah, I mean that would make absolute sense.
It's smart.
But you need to be careful with that because obviously you can't control a wild animal walking through there. And if a
That's
deer
true.
walks through there
You don't
and
want to
sets
see a
off,
deer just blowing up, you know.
well, I'm not worried about seeing it, but if a deer walks through there and gets blown up, somebody will find out about it. There are people that dedicate their whole lives to watching this
The
place.
EPA. EPA.
Yeah.
Well, no, I know what you're talking
But
about.
somebody would see it, it would get up online, you know.
No, I can agree with you in that.
I don't believe that there's going to be like IEDs and stuff buried
No,
in the
I
ground
don't
just
think-
because of that. Like, it wouldn't make sense.
So, I mean, aliens, out of all the mythical creatures, are the most plausible thought to be real. We don't really talk about this. What about unicorns? You think that's all hogwash?
I mean, until I've seen a true skeletal remain of,
Yeah.
I'm not going to believe in something like that.
I don't believe in it.
But at the same time, you know, you could say that about any creature.
I know that you and I have talked about a good amount, and you and I both have a good amount of knowledge about the Loch Ness Monster. I know that we filmed a video, and you and I accidentally deleted it.
What?
Yeah, I accidentally deleted it. But, I mean, we don't have to go into super detail, but what are your thoughts on that? Like, because as you know, in high school, I would always joke around about Nessie, believing in her, but I seriously think that there's a good chance.
I truly believe that she could be. I mean, just like we were saying in that video, the whole lake hasn't been discovered yet. We haven't seen it.
There's so much depth to it.
Yeah, you don't know what's down there.
I mean, I think it could be an eel, most likely. Like a giant eel that just grew.
I can see that, but I don't know.
Because, I mean, there's been people who have dedicated their whole lives to just sitting at that lake and watching for Nessie. That would make me miserable.
Well, I mean, if that's what the person enjoys, I mean, by all means.
But then think about it. If they actually see it, how rich and famous is that person going to be? To be like, I am the first human being to ever actually either capture, picture, video of Nessie.
Dude, imagine taming it and
And,
taking it
playing
down the
with it.
street.
But is it land and sea?
Why can't you put like a bubble, like
Like SpongeBob?
Yeah, but it's filled with water.
Like SpongeBob when he goes into Sandy's house, so he has to put the
Oh yeah. Okay.
water, please.
I think
a giant sea serpent. That's funny.